All right, thanks again, y'all, for coming in together. I know these meetings are tough because I want to make sure that I get something that you value and you walk away with something new that you didn't know before. More importantly, I want to make sure you have the tools and the knowledge to close out the year profitably. And more importantly, how am I going to help you do it? Because otherwise, we don't really represent much value. I get a lot of product. That's easy. But what are the little things that are going to get you there? And so if we don't do that, then we haven't had a valuable session. It's funny, I do a lot of sales calls and I do a lot of end user calls as well. I think that's probably some of the value that we need to capture a little bit more together. And there's some interesting things that come out of those end user calls. My favorite story is when I did an end user call to sell drinkware, and I walked in carrying this backpack. We sold the drinkware, it was a water bottle or something. I did my job, and then the lady says, "Tell me about your backpack." I was like, all right. So I told her about the 11 backpack, went through it a little bit. She's like, "Man, this is really great." And then she looked at my reseller and she said, "How come I've never seen this?" And he said, "Well, you guys really like Ogio, and that's what you always ask me for." And then these words came out of her mouth: "I only know what you tell me."
That's true.
I only know what you tell me. And so you gotta tell them. If you guys want to stay relevant to end users, important end users like Red Bull, Orange Bowl, like these guys are on trends, then you have to make sure they know that you know what the trends are. You have to tell them what the trends are at retail, even though they know it, like you gotta let them know that you know. Then you gotta tell them how that trend is working in promo and how you're gonna bring it to them and what you've done to address those trends. Otherwise, someone else is gonna do it and you're no longer gonna be relevant. So that's what we're going to show you today. And I'm going to show you how to, once you make those statements, how to prove that you know what those trends are. So the companies I represent, Leeds, Bullet, Journal Books, and Trimark, right, PC&A, we've got a lot of tools to help you understand what those trends are. And that's what we're going to make sure that we get in front of you. So remember that Leeds is the brand leader. It's a little bit more innovative in terms of product. We're unparalleled when it comes to a service model. Things like SureShip were invented at Leeds. Then there's Bullet, a little bit more in the commodity space, but I'm going to show you how we've moved into a more design-rich environment, giving you the opportunity to deliver trendy but affordable things. And then, of course, there's Journal Books where you really get the opportunity to be a custom provider, but you get to do it in a simple fashion and do it within about 5 days. So that's the value that each one of those companies represents. I'll leave Trimark for Joe when he comes in. Just know that anything that we talk about today can certainly be done in tandem with Trimark. So again, that's cool, but what it means to you is you get to deliver an entire package and never have to leave the phone. If you're on the phone with Keith, you can do all those things at the same time. So one last thing before I get started. I want to invest in sales opportunities for you. I want to make sure that you're equipped to do what you need to do to bring in the rest of the year. So write down the 2 or 3 people that are paying the bills for you and be thinking about those end users as we go through the next half an hour. And as you see product or hear an idea, or just jot it down here and now, otherwise it's gone. I know what today looks like. As soon as I leave you, you're on to the next crisis. So if we don't take care of it now, it's not going to get addressed. All right, so sound like a good spend of a half hour?
Sounds good.
Good.